Well, U.S. President Donald Trump says that he's calling off trade negotiations with Canada. Trump made the announcement in a post on his Truth Social platform. He says that he made the decision in response to Canada's digital services tax on U.S. tech companies. And Trump described the tax as a blatant attack on America and egregious. He says Washington will inform Ottawa of the tariff rate that will be imposed on Canada within a week. And for more on this latest trade spat, let's go live to CTV political analyst Eric Ham. Eric, I mean, literally, my next question is, what now?
Well, we don't know what the next now is. Perhaps the president is looking to try to squeeze some concessions out of Canada over this digital sales tax. We know that big internet, major media companies, tech companies in the United States, from Amazon to Google, certainly were not happy with this tax. And of course, the lobbyists were fighting to try to block it. And so it appears, though, that Donald Trump certainly has done no favors to anyone with this new move. In fact, the markets are reacting very negatively. In fact, all of the gains that have been made today have now been wiped out as a result of Donald Trump's new statement that he is ending all negotiations. And it also sets back potentially the relationship between the prime minister and the president, after it appeared as though the president seemed to be warming to Canada's new prime minister.
Exactly. So, Eric, I'm just going to put this out there. Make it make sense.
Well, when it comes to Donald Trump, it's kind of hard to do that. But what we're seeing right now is maybe the thought perhaps is that the president is using this as a negotiating tool. This certainly could have been included in those ongoing negotiations between the two nations. But what we're saying right now, typical with the president of the United States, he becomes impetuous, angry about something. And now it appears that this is no longer just about negotiations, because now all are made to actually suffer as a result of course. And when you see the markets begin to tank like we're seeing, that impacts people's 401ks, that impacts the overall value of companies. And so this is, again, another far wide and reaching result of the president's anger and ire. And it also speaks to, I think, that lingering discontent that the president, for whatever reason, has towards our neighbors to the north.
There's been so much back and forth. Can you lay out the status quo? Where are we right now?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think where we are right now is back to square one, because if you look at the post by the president on his Truth Social site, he really just lambasted the country over this tax. And of course, always made clear that he believes that Canada has always been difficult to work with. Certainly not the case. We know that the United States and Canada have built an seamless economic integration between the nations that's lasted now for 60 years. It's been certainly the envy of the world in terms of how the U.S., Canada, and Mexico have all worked together. But now, again, what we're seeing from President Donald Trump is just in one fell swoop of a social media post, all of that has now come cratering to a crashing halt.
Okay, Eric, we have to wrap up. Let's end with this. I mean, we kind of thought that there was an end in sight because there was supposed to be a resumption of, some sort of finalization coming within 30 days, but
we don't know what that but is. Perhaps they can get these talks back on track. Maybe it's Canada making the concessions. But again, we're talking about Donald Trump. We know how mercurial he can be. And it was always, I think, going to be a massive, massive hurdle for the prime minister to be able to get these talks to fruition, especially given the tight window that it had in terms of this to happen, only 30 days.
All right, CTV's political analyst, Eric Ham, keep your phone close by and the ringer on.
You got it, buddy.
All right.